Well, I guess while I'm resetting this back up, is the music too loud? Is it drowning me out? Oh, I turned it down. I want to turn it back up just a little bit. So what happened there is that I have these weird audio track settings for recording. That way the music and then my voice is on a different audio track, so I can, you know, remove the music from editing. But apparently that affects the stream. I have to change that up a little bit. Jesus Christ, you'd think I'd have known better at this point. Louder than the music? Okay, that's good. I mean, is it too loud? Like, is the music pretty much unhearable? Should be able to hear it just a little bit at least. Okay. Cool. Okay. Hang on, let me go here. We're gonna start over. Son of a bitch, man. I cannot believe I did that. So stupid. Okay. So yeah, because I've got it streaming and recording at the same time. That way I can kind of edit this up into chunks. Make it more watchable for those that can't be on the stream. Okay, alright. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna start over. Don't put that in the video. Okay, we're doing something a little bit different today. We are doing a tier list. I haven't streamed in a while. I feel a little out of practice almost at this point. But anyway, yeah, so current day, it is January 1st, 2026. We are officially in the new year. And you know, around this time, a lot of people like to make top 10 lists. They like to tell you about their favorite games they played this year, all that kind of fun stuff. The problem for me is that I don't usually play a lot of games that release in the current year. Like, I have a problem with playing a bunch of old games. So doing like a top 10 games, a 2025 type thing, doesn't usually work for me. So I figured, why don't we do something a little bit different? I'm going to take every game that I beat this year, every game that I played this year, and we're going to throw it onto a tier list. I've got 27 games here, only like 7 of which were released in 2025, which is why I feel like this is a better approach for me. And we're going to go ahead and get started. The tiers, we've got not so good, meh, alright, pretty good, and incredible. Incredible kind of being like 10 out of 10, 9 out of 10, like great, good ass fucking video games. Game of the year 2025, and then favorite game played this year because I might have enjoyed a game from like a previous year just more than anything in 2025. So I've got those two there. We might not even, like, this might even get collapsed into one category if I'm being perfectly honest with you. We kind of have to just go along with it. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. We're just going to go down the line here. So you can see all the games here. We'll just start from the beginning. Super Mario Bros. 3. Now, some of these y'all probably already know my thoughts on because I did video reviews on a lot of the Mario games, and all of those are included here. Super Mario Bros. 3, easily the best of the early Mario games on the Nintendo Entertainment System. I mean, like I said at the end of my review, the fact that that game has so much content packed into it for an NES game is ridiculous. Like, it's unbelievable how much that they were able to put into that game. Considering that, I remember reading stories about, like, the first Mario Brothers game that they were, like, really pushing the limits of what was possible on a cartridge. And then they came out with this game, and it was just like, dude, like, you guys are wizards. A lot of people consider it to be the best Mario game of all time. I do not hold that opinion in the slightest. I think it's great. Easily one of the best 2D games. Greatest of all time? Nah, I don't think so. And that might just be because I'm a bit younger. You know, this game came out like 7 years before I did. I think it's pretty good. You know, like I said, it's definitely the best of the Mario games on the NES. Just wholesale. It's a fantastic game if you're into retro games or wanting to experience the history of the medium. I think this is a must-play, even though that I don't think it's quite as much of a masterclass, I think, as some other people seem to think, but it's pretty good. I liked it. It's pretty alright. Super Mario Maker 2, got that when it came out in 2019, played through it about like halfway, and then just kind of put it down. Randomly picked it up again this year and finally finished it. It's pretty good. You know, it's not as good as the original Mario Maker in my mind, because my favorite thing about Mario Maker is creating the levels. Like, I don't actually spend a lot of time playing other people's levels in Mario Maker. So for me, this one was a little bit of a drop, just because, like, the level editor is just not as good on the Switch as it would be on the Wii U. Like, the Wii U gamepad must have been, like, made for this game, you know what I mean? But otherwise, you know, you have the single player, which is fine. It's like a really simple and repetitive gameplay loop. You get to play a lot of fun developer-created Mario Maker levels, which is fine. But it kind of wears... It kind of just gets samey, like, really fast. Like, there's some neat ideas, and it's, like, a great way to, like, kind of get a player inspired for what's possible in level making. But it just kind of gets samey and repetitive. To the point where I think, like, it's probably just alright. Like, it's pretty good. Like, you know, whatever. But, I think genuinely, if you put Mario Maker and Mario Maker 2 in front of me, like, I'm definitely gonna pick Mario Maker 1. It just feels right. I don't know. It's something about the Wii U gamepad I feel like is made for this game. Mario Brothers 2, The Lost Levels. I think if you've seen my review on this game, you already know where this one is going. It's not even... There's no deliberation. This game... It sucks. It's awful. I do not like this game. You know, they did technically achieve what they wanted to with a challenging version of Super Mario Brothers for super players, right? I mean, they definitely achieved what they sought out to do, but it's one of those things where it's like, just because you can doesn't mean you should necessarily. Because yes, it is a harder game that only people that would have mastered the original would have any hope of, you know, succeeding in. That doesn't make it good. I don't care if they achieved what they sought out to do. I don't think it's a very fun game. I don't think it's very good. The level design sucks. It's blatantly unfair in a lot of situations. And it's just overall not very fun to play. Like, at all. Like the quality, it's a sharp drop from the original Super Mario Brothers. I could go on, and Lord knows I would. But, yeah, I mean, if you want more thoughts on that from me, you could check out my review on my YouTube channel. Don't play it. It's not very good. Even with, like, save states and rewind, which I was playing on original hardware, mind you, right? I imported a Famicom Disk System, I imported a Japanese copy of the game, I played it without save states, without rewinds. Like, you could make the argument that maybe that would change my opinion of the game. I don't think so. I think even with that kind of stuff, it's just not fun. It's just not very well designed. Remember the video for this? Yeah, I did not hold back on this one. That game sucks. So next up, these two right here, we have Mega Man 1 and Mega Man 2. These are specifically the versions from the Wily Wars. It's like a trilogy collection on the Sega Genesis. This originally was not available physically in the United States. This was only, like, downloadable through some weird satellite technology bullshit called the Sega Channel. I believe Japan and Europe got, like, actual physical cartridges of this game, but America did not. Until, I think it was, like, 2022, Capcom, like, randomly partnered with Retrobit, and made a physical cartridge for this game, and it's available on Nintendo Switch Online, it's available on the Sega Genesis Mini. There's a lot of ways to play this now. But this has been pretty elusive for years, and I mentioned in that Mega Man Collection video that I was like, yeah, I want to play through this collection and see if it's any better. So we did stream Mega Man 1 and Mega Man 2. You can check out the VODs for that on my VODs channel. Didn't get to 3 or Wily Tower. We'll have to do that another time, but I am ranking these individually here. And we'll start with Mega Man 1. Mega Man 1 is, like, without even getting into the Sega Genesis stuff, without the updated graphics, like, Mega Man 1 on the NES is kind of archaic. It's kind of archaic. It's, of all the Mega Man games, of all the classic Mega Man games, it's the hardest one to go back to, because, you know, they were still kind of trying to figure stuff out. Like, the level design's a little weird, the bosses are kind of annoying, right? I mean, they really honed their craft in Mega Man 2. Mega Man 1, it's hard to go back to. It's fine, like, it's an okay game, but it is hard to go back to. And unfortunately, the Sega Genesis version doesn't do much for it. Like, the updated visuals and graphics are nice, but one problem, and I'm actually, it's weird, I'm going to call this as a positive, even though normally this would be a negative in my books. The Wily Wars versions of these Mega Man games are riddled with slowdown. There is so much slowdown. Like, I don't know if the game just, like, wasn't optimized, or maybe the graphics were too intensive for even the Genesis. I don't really know what the problem was, but there is an insane amount of slowdown in these games that, it's funny, in Mega Man 1, I'm calling it a positive, because it actually helps you with some of the more archaic elements of the game. Those bullshit platforming sections are a little bit easier, because things are moving slower. The bullshit boss strategies, like the Yellow Devil, also a little easier, because things are moving slower. Like, it is weird to say that a technical hiccup like slowdown, which normally is like a universally panned thing, actually kind of helps this game a little bit. But it is still Mega Man 1 at the end of the day, so it's just, it's meh. And I'm going to say the same thing for Mega Man 2, which feels fucking wrong, because it's Mega Man 2. Right? Mega Man 2, like, just on the NES. Mega Man 2 on the NES, rockin' music, expressive sprite work, very good level design, really fun special weapons, right? All that stuff, I mean, it does come through in this version, right? It just has updated, you know, graphics, updated sound, right? The level design's the same, the special weapons are the same, all that kind of good stuff. But here's what I'm going to say. Remember how I said slowdown was really good for Mega Man 1? I don't feel the same about Mega Man 2. I don't know. Maybe I'm being hypocritical here, but, like, I'm just speaking from my personal experiences. And if you want to see what I'm talking about, you can go check the VODs. Like, I literally say it as I'm streaming. I'm like, wow, the slowdown actually makes Mega Man 1 really easy. And then I get to Mega Man 2, and I'm like, this is actually making this game unplayable. Like, and I think that's just a testament to Mega Man 2 on the NES. It was so tightly designed. Like, everything felt good in that game. Like, Mega Man felt like a dream to control. Everything just, I don't know. Like, it was just a really tightly controlling game. And all the level design, it all meshes together perfectly. But the slowdown, like, it changes that. You're playing a completely different game. Like, the best example I can give you, at the end of Heatman stage, there's, like, this section with invisible blocks. It's, like, you have to time your jumps, you have to anticipate when the platforms are appearing so you can jump on them. And then you kind of have to make your way over this bottomless pit. And it's really not that hard. Like, that's a reoccurring gimmick in classic Mega Man games that people hate. I kind of hate it, to be honest, but that specific one is, like, it's not that hard. It's like, you get past a few, and then it's just a straight shot. You just have to time your jumps properly. In the Genesis version, because of the slowdown, the timing of the platforms gets misaligned. So, you're having to kind of guess. You're kind of having to just hope that you're right when you make the jumps. And if you're not, you lose a life. You have to start over. And stuff like that is all over this version of the game. Like, it's bad. It's bad. Like, this is hands down the worst way to play Mega Man 2, if you ask me personally. Now, it doesn't go down here, because at the end of the day, it is still Mega Man 2. there are, like, it still has a lot of the things that make Mega Man 2 a fantastic game. But the slowdown, like if it didn't have the slowdown, it would be up here. Just straight up, like it would be. But it does, and that's a big thing for me. Like you, it's hard to put into words, but it's like, dude, I play Mega Man 2, and I'm kind of like going through the motions, and I know, like, everything just feels right. If you destroy that game feel, if the slowdown affects the quality of the level design on a mechanical level, like it does with Heatman, or if things feel different for a game like Mega Man 2 that is like very widely loved, like that's a big blow for me personally. So yeah, I was not a fan of this, and this. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm already not a big fan of Mega Man 3, which is the last game in the collection. So I'm not looking forward to having to play Mega Man 3 with this Genesis slowdown, but I guess we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Yeah, it makes platforming super hard. It sucks. It sucks a lot. Ridge Racer Type 4. This might be overblowing it for some people, but genuinely, I'm going to put this in Incredible. We streamed this here on the Twitch channel earlier this year. I want to say it was like May. It was like early summer, late spring when we streamed it here on the channel. The VOD for that is on my YouTube channel because we also streamed that on YouTube. That was before I had the VODs channel. Weird stuff. It's going to be all over the place here, but honestly, I would put R4 Incredible just on the vibes alone. Like, it's a fantastic game all around. Like, it's really fun to play. Great music. It looks incredible for the PlayStation 1, right? Like, all around, it is an incredible game, but like, just for the music and the vibes alone, chef's kiss. I mean, golly. No game has better vibes than R4. Like, it's not really something I can put into words. Like, you just have to go see it for yourself, watch gameplay, play it for yourself. Like, a lot of people on the internet are like, oh yeah, this is like the ultimate vibes game. Like, it's just, it's beautiful. But we did a full playthrough on stream earlier this year, and I mean, I'm not usually into sim racers. Like, normally, like, my racing game palette is like really insano boingo bullshit, like Mario Kart, Sonic racing games, F-Zero, Kirby Air Riders, right? Like, really insane, like, arcadey racing games. This kind of like finds a nice balance between like simulation racer and arcade racer. Like, it's like right there in the middle, and it walks that balance perfectly, right? So you're still going to have to kind of approach it from a gameplay perspective like a sim racer, but it's not going to be as strict, right? As long as you're kind of like, taking the right lines, braking on the sharp turns, like, you'll be fine, right? Especially if you're like me and pick the cars with the best handling, because again, I'm not a sim racer guy. I wanted to just be like, I want to get as close to just holding the acceleration button and turning, and that's it. I want to get as close to that as possible. But yeah, I mean, the game is incredible. Like I said, the soundtrack admittedly is doing a lot of carrying for me. But I mean, there's not a single miss on that game. And it was a pleasantly good time, right? Like, again, me not being a sim racer kind of guy, I was expecting to go in and be like, okay, well, it looks pretty, the music is great, but I can't just get a hold of the gameplay. But no, like, I kind of figured it out, and I was weaving through the courses, and then even after I turned off the stream, like, I kept playing. Like, I turned on time trials, and I tried to get a little bit better, and I was like, man, this game is good, man. I don't know, what more can I say? It's a damn good game. Loved it a lot. Super Mario 3D World. Okay, so I actually beat this game twice this year. I did a personal playthrough on my own, as well as completing a failed Let's Play with a couple friends of mine. I say failed because we had some audio issues and it's not going to get uploaded, but yeah, so we were doing the Let's Play, and I was thinking, I was like, man, I'm a little bit rusty. I don't remember the levels quite as well as I thought. I have to get used to the controls, because we were playing the Switch version. So between recording sessions, I went and I played the game on my own. Got all the way through up to World Crown. Fun stuff. It's a great game. Like, I don't think it sits, like, atop the pantheon of 3D Mario games. Like, 3D Mario games are genuinely incredible games. And I don't think it quite hits those highs of, say, like Mario 64 or anything like that. But I mean, it's still a really good game through and through, right? It's a little bit more linear, right? They just give you a level with these really interesting ideas in it, and they say, okay, how many ways can we get the player to interact with this mechanic or with this idea? And they get the most out of it. Like, they take the lemon, they squeeze the shit out of it for that one level, and then they throw it away, and the next level you're doing something completely different. And they do that for an insane number of worlds. Like, very much like Mario 3, the fact that they have so much in this game, I think the music stopped, hang on. The fact that they have so much in this game that that they just get so much mileage out of is unbelievably impressive to me. A word of advice, please just play this single player. Do not try to play this multiplayer, especially if you have friends that like to grief like I do. That Let's Play was, again, a failed Let's Play. It's not going to get uploaded, but it was brutal. I was watching some of that footage back, and I was like, golly, we would have been done with this game so much sooner if we'd stopped being assholes to each other. But overall, it's pretty good. I enjoyed it. I think it's fun. It was great to revisit this. I want to 100% it, but this game is so annoying about 100%. You have to beat every level with every character. I'm like, dude, I just don't have time for that right now, man. But yeah, still a great game. Still a great game. And then we go from one end of the spectrum to the other, the original Super Mario Bros. On NES. This one, I anticipated having a hard time placing this one, because it is really good, but it's also really old. You know, I don't understand why... Hang on, let me fix my webcam. Oh, Jesus Christ. There we go. I don't know, my webcam freezes for some reason. I don't know why. It's kind of annoying. Anyway. But yeah, Super Mario Brothers. So I, like, really enjoyed playing this game, right? Like, I picked it up for the review. It's not the first time I played it. Like, I beat it on that Mario Game & Watch, like, 5 years ago, in 2020 when that came out. It's a really good game. Like, as far as 2D Mario games go, like, it might still genuinely be one of the best. Even so much, like, in some instances, I kind of prefer the original game over Super Mario Bros. 3 in some cases, which feels weird to say, but I mean, I don't know, man. It's pretty good. I think we're gonna set it here for now. As tempting as it is to put it right here, I don't know, there's something in my brain that's like, I don't think I can do that, you know? Like, not from like what everybody else type of, what everybody else thinks type of thing, but like, I don't know, something about that doesn't seem right to me. It's a fantastic game, right? It's 40 goddamn years old, but it is still one of the tightest and most fun 2D platformers that I've played ever in my lifetime. It's very simple, it's very bare bones, and at some points can be a little much in terms of like maybe some weird level design choices, or maybe it's a little difficult. It can be a little much sometimes, right? It doesn't have some of the quality of life features that like maybe Super Mario Bros. 3 has, but man, this game is still fun. Like, it's just impressive to me that a game from 1985 still feels incredibly polished and incredibly high quality, even in 2026 or 2025 when I played it. It's fantastic. I think Super Mario Bros. 3 is just better all around, even though there are moments where I'm like kind of debating that. This game is still incredible. Like I said with Mario Bros. 3, like if you're interested in this series, or rather, you know, if you're interested in retro games or like video game history, like you gotta try it. You gotta give it a shot. It's impressive. Not too many games can claim that status. 100%. Like it's just, it's hard to put it to words, but like again, it's 40 years old, 1985, and it's like I said it like in my review. You can check out my review for more structured thoughts if you're interested. But I said it in my review about halfway through. I was just like, I beat the game, and all I wanted to do was start it up and play it again. Like, I don't get that way with a lot of games. Like, usually with a lot of games, I can play it, I can beat it, and I'm like, that's great. I won't play this again for another 10 years, you know? Like, that's normally how I am with games. And, I mean, I guess it helps that Super Mario Brothers is really short, right? Like, even if you're going through all 8 worlds, you could beat this in, like, an hour, maybe 2 hours, right? So maybe that's a little unfair to say. But even still, like, I just straight up, I just started and I played it again, and I ran through it again, and I had a blast. It was so much fun. A lot of games don't have that sort of replayability. Yeah, I've noticed, I feel like that's something that is not as, I guess, not as emphasized, for lack of a better term, in the modern day, just because, you know, there's so much going on with video games, you know, in current year 2026, right? You have these massive stories. You have games with these incredible set pieces and these giant maps and all these kind of things. Like, the experience that games are going for these days, much different than the experience that games were going for in 1985, right? They still had that arcade mindset where we want people playing this as much as possible, where nowadays it's more like, we want people to experience this and we want people to talk about it, right? It's a different shift. And my brain is still in the I want to play games a whole bunch, right? I mean, I guess I'm caught in the middle. That's why I'm on YouTube. That's why I make content, because I like to talk about games. But, you know, I'm your garden variety Nintendo guy that's just like, yeah, the goopy goblin gamer brain is satisfied. Live service, we can just keep playing forever instead of restarting a game to experience. That's also true. Yeah, live service does. Interesting. Yeah, I didn't even consider that. I hate live service games. I just can't get into them. I think like the last one I played was like Overwatch, right? Back when that game was good. It's not anymore. Anyway. Pokemon Legends ZA. Alright, comment section. It's your time to shine. Call me a Pokemon chill. It's fine. I think the game's great. It's not perfect. It's not perfect by any means. There are some things with this game that I am not a fan of. Like, I'm starting to get to the point where, like, you know, people want, like, how do I put this? People have been wanting a more modern Pokemon game for a long time, right? Pokemon has very much been doing the same thing for years and years and years and years and years. And this feels like the first, like, actual big shakeup that the series has ever had. Like, Arceus kind of came close, like, it was doing a lot of new stuff, but it felt like it was maybe not trying to stray too far. I think Pokemon Legends ZA, like, is an actual step towards a more modern Pokemon experience. However, I might even actually drop it, like, here, just for that reason, for this reason. But it's such a weird game to me, because there are elements where it feels more modern, like the map is pretty open, and there's like different little areas you can go into, not enough areas, right? So it's modern in that sense, but it feels behind in the fact that there's not very many more areas, right? You can go into the sewers, you can go into like 2 buildings, and then that's it, right? I feel like there needed to be more of that. I feel like there needed to be voice acting. I don't understand why we can't have voice acting in Pokemon at this point, right? I'm not saying every single line of dialogue needs to be acted out, but, like, come on, for story sequences, cutscenes, please, anything? Like, come on, man. So, actually, you know, I might even do this, because there are genuine gripes I have, right? I don't think it's like a perfect or a near perfect 10 out of 10, right? It does fumble the ball in some situations, but overall, I think it is one of the best Pokemon games released in a long time, in my opinion. catching up on chat here. Never finished Genshin Impact, for example. It just keeps going. Yeah. See, and I think, like, we grew up in a time where the objective to a game was to beat it, was to get to the end of the game and see the credits, right? Like, that was the thing. Like, when we were growing up, right, like on the GameCube era and stuff like that, like, you bought the game, and you played the game, and you beat the game. You're like, wow, that was great. And then people would be like, oh, wow, you beat the game, right? I guess that's not as impressive anymore, because, like, that's just kind of expected to beat a game at this point. I don't know, it's weird. Like, I think we're getting to, like, a generational gap kind of thing, almost. Good lord, I don't know what is up with my webcam today. Stop that. Yeah, I think Arceus definitely was, like... I don't know, I feel like Arceus, they really were trying to do something different, but were too scared. Like, that's kind of the vibe I get from it, knowing how Pokemon's production timeline works. Or at least being able to speculate how it works, basically. And all that has changed, right? Like, after Scarlet and Violet went and tanked, it didn't tank, obviously, it's one of the best-selling games in the franchise, but after it got such critical panning, like, that game did not do well critically. After that, like, Nintendo straight up went to Pokemon Company and Game Freak and said, look, alright, we can no longer tie the games to the other logistical nightmare that is managing the Pokemon brand. No more syncing up with card games, no more syncing up with the anime. Like, find a way to unlink the games from that stuff. That way, the devs can have more time and we can, you know, spend more time on the game and stuff like that. And that's part of why, not entirely why, but part of why the Pokemon anime stopped. Like, it ended. Like, Ash's story ended and then they picked up with a new anime. That's partially why. Because they didn't want the games to be tied to the anime for this giant marketing push. And I think the effort shows, right? Like, this game was in development longer than a lot of the more recent Pokemon games. And I think the effort shows. I think there is a lot of genuine love and care put into this game. But there are still a few things that kind of get missed that I think is it's wanting me to put it in this tier and not so much an Incredible, I think. .3D games take so much longer to make. Yeah, the fact that they were just pumping these out on a yearly basis, it was not sustainable. I mean, okay, I guess technically, from a financial point, it was sustainable, because again, Sword and Shield, Scarlet and Violet, the games that people, that, you know, the general internet takes problem with, they sold like gangbusters. Like, they are, behind Pokemon Red and Blue, the best-selling games in the series. Like, like, they could have just kept going. But I appreciate that they didn't, because Nintendo, at least to some degree, does care about their public image. So yeah, I think just because it's missing some of those, like I said, I've never really... I'm a Pokemon fan, right? The fact that Sword and Shield is still using the same turn-based mechanics, the fact that Scarlet and Violet is using the same turn-based mechanics, it kind of doesn't bother me, because that's the formula I fell in love with, right? It's still good. I'm glad to see them experimenting, right? Arceus was great. Legends EA is great. Honestly, the Legends games are probably some of the best games in the series. Full stop. Right? I am excited to see them experiment a little bit. But, you know, in a world where their development cycle has changed up, in a world post Legends Arceus where they have begun to experiment a little bit, in a world where we now know they have a little bit more dev time, maybe not as much as they probably need, let's be real, but at least a little bit more. I am now at a point where the older me wasn't expecting them to change things and modernize. 2026 Phelan is now expecting Pokemon to change and modernize. This game is still fantastic. It's a wonderful story. The game looks great. The new gameplay mechanics are fun. The music absolutely rocks the fucking house down. But I want to see a little bit more care and attention to some of the details. I want to see the world be a little bit more full of life, I guess. Because I think they do a good job with that on the streets, right? But with it being a city, it's like, dude, I expect to be able to go into the buildings more, or, you know, things like that. And then there's like that whole thing with the window textures, which I'm not a big graphics guy, right? Like, the tree in Sword and Shield that people love to comment on doesn't bother me in the slightest. And really, the windows in this game don't either, but at the same time, like, it is a little distracting. And again, we gotta get voice acting. It's gotta happen. Like, I think I'm gonna start putting Pokemon games no higher than this for as long as they don't have voice acting. It's time. We gotta do it. Like, they get some top tier talent for the anime. We can't do that for the games. Like, come on. Come on. Okay, I could talk about Pokemon forever. I need to change subjects. Kirby Air Riders, another game for Nintendo in 2025, released exclusively on the Switch 2. It's not even a competition. This is an incredible game. Like, I'm trying to think. Like, we've had the game since like mid-November. I've been playing it a lot. I've been thinking about it a lot. I genuinely, I cannot find anything to complain about. There is surely something, right? Games are not perfect, right? There is not a single perfect video game out there. Maybe Tetris. But besides that, there is not a single perfect video game out there, right? So I'm sure there's something that could be improved about this game. Beats me what that is. I don't fucking know. The game, it's plaguing my mind, right? I'm always thinking like, damn, I should hop on and play some City Trial. I should just go play some City Trial. I should run through Road Trip again. I should just pick up this game. I should just go play. I should go see if my friends are playing. Like, if I'm literally not doing anything else, if I'm like watching YouTube, or if I'm like pacing the house trying to figure out what to do, or if I got this little bug in my head that says, oh, you really should be working on that next video, there's another voice in my head that's just like, you should play Kirby Air Riders. You should do it. That game is really good. I don't know, what can I say? It's arcadey, fast, bombastic, chaotic fun. And that's all I need. Genuinely, that's all I need. The races happen at blistering speeds. You have like these destruction derby events that there's just a million particle effects all over the screen, but the game is like running at a consistent frame rate, and you're just trying to make sense of what the hell just happened, right? I mean, I talked about this in my first impressions video for Kirby Air Riders back when I covered the demo before the game came out. I mean, this game is just arcadey, chaotic fun. And that's like right up my alley, right? I don't need, you know, some over-the-top narrative or whatever. Not to say that I don't enjoy those things. Like, I do enjoy a good story in video games, right? Like, Legends EA story is very good, and I enjoyed it a lot. But, like, I don't know. Sometimes I just need the chaotic nonsense that this game provides, and I could just play it for hours. Like one of my best friends got this game for Christmas, right? And me, him, and another guy, we just played, and we played for hours and hours and hours. Like, this game is fucking incredible. And it's not for everybody. Like, I've seen people, like, they pick it up, and then they're just like, I don't get it. And, you know, that is what it is. But if you get it, you get it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. There's just so much to this game. Like, these large game modes that are, like, really fun to play, and then these tiny little tchotchke things that's like, why the hell did you waste time programming a little physics simulator with a bunch of little gummy snacks? Fuck it, why not? It's a video game. Let's fucking have Kirby swing away a bunch of gummies with realistic physics with a sword just because we can't. Fuck it. It's a video game. Let's just do weird shit. Like, this game is full of weird shit, and I like that. I like that a lot. This game is great. Please play this game. It's so good. We have a lot of Kirby, actually. I didn't realize I actually played a lot of Kirby this year. Kirby and the Forgotten Land. This game, I think it came out in 2022 originally, but it did get a re-release on the Switch 2. Better frame rate, little extra content, all that fun stuff. So that's how I played it this year. And I think I'm gonna put this one in all right. Kirby's first venture in 3D. It's a fun game, right? It's your standard Kirby thing. You've got these mostly linear levels, simple platforming, right, and using copy abilities, or in this case, the mouthful mode to get through platforming challenges or, puzzles or stuff like that. It's alright. It wasn't anything mind-blowing for me. It's pretty short. The ending does land. It is a 10 out of 10 ending, as Kirby games usually are, where, 90% of the game is this cute, cozy, happy-go-lucky platformer, and then, like, the last 10% of the game is fighting eldritch horrors beyond your comprehension. And don't you just love that from Kirby games? This game has that too, by the way, just for the record. Just throwing that out there. But yeah, I mean, it is alright. It's a pretty standard Kirby fare. I think they do some interesting things with, like, the copy abilities, so that, like, you can actually upgrade copy abilities to do new things. So, like, you have, like, the standard fire breath power, which, you just spit fire a little bit in front of you, and that's whatever. But then you can upgrade it, and then, like, you eventually turn it into the dragon fire power-up, where now the fire is shooting, like, 7 million feet in front of Kirby in that direction, and it leaves this lingering burn damage on enemies and bosses, and it's just like this mechanic of, like, being able to upgrade the copy abilities, like, gives that feeling of, like, getting stronger and becoming more unstoppable, which, like, in a Kirby game, for me, a Kirby game is, like, they're already so easy, even with just the bare essentials, that, like, I get to that level where everything is so overpowered that, like, yeah, for me, this is like a cathartic experience, where I don't want to be challenged. I want to be overpowered and just blow through everything. Right? Like, I don't know, that's what Kirby games are for me. But even then, it's just alright. I think the biggest thing for me is that this game, it's just so slow, man. There are so many moments that break the pace in this game, for me personally. So, like, you play through the level, right? And you're just kind of going along, you play the level, go over here to do this little challenge to get this collectible, whatever. Go through, beat the level, and it's like, alright, great, you beat the level, here's everything you found. Alright, cool, now we gotta jump back to the world map. Everything you found, there's an animation of it flying back to the hub world, and then now here's another animation showing that you beat the level, and now here's an animation of this level's available, and this level's available, and this level's available, and then let's pan back to Kirby. Okay, now you can go to the next one. I hate it. It was driving me fucking crazy. At the end of the game, it was driving me fucking crazy. Like, beating a level and having to watch all of these tiny little things happen, and it took for fucking ever, man. That shit drove me fucking insane. I think it would probably, if it wasn't for that, like, it would probably be up here. I'm not gonna lie to you. But, like, the constant pace breaking between levels, it was just driving me fucking crazy. I could not handle it. But, that aside, it's alright. I had a good time with it. I didn't play the Starcross Worlds content. That's the extra stuff that comes exclusively with the Switch 2. I didn't get a chance to finish that. I was trying my best to get it done before Pokemon Legends came out, knowing that was going to take up an assload of my time, and it did. So I didn't get to finish it. Maybe I'll circle back around to it this year. We'll see. I'm not really in a rush. Like, I played like 2 levels of it. I was like, alright, it's more of the same. More of the same. New Eldritch Horror. Fun. Whatever. More Kirby. Kirby Squeak Squad. It's funny. Prior to this year, prior to 2025, if you would ask me what my favorite Kirby game was, it would be Kirby Squeak Squad. For a long time, Kirby Squeak Squad was one of my favorite games in the series. If not my favorite game in general. I ended up replaying this game. So me, my brother, and my sister, we do a game night. Every other Monday, we get together. Somebody plays a single-player game, we watch, we commentate. And, we just have a good time with it. One of the games I picked this year to play was Kirby Squeak Squad. Because I was like, okay, well, this is a great excuse to go revisit some of my all-time favorite games from different series. So I was like, well, Kirby Squeak Squad is my favorite Kirby game, so I'm going to play that. And we played it. And in retrospect, It's kind of funny. Sometimes revisiting something from your childhood is like you rediscover the magic that made you fall in love with it in the first place, or you end up discovering that it really wasn't all that great. You know, Kirby Sweet Squad is fine. Like it is. Like it is a fine, serviceable, passable Kirby game. But upon replaying it recently, and no longer as a kid with this game being brand new, this is a nothing burger of a Kirby game. There is nothing to this game. Like, you got the opening cutscene that explains the plot, and then you have like 8 worlds. Go have fun. Go collect some treasure chests. And there's not really much more to it than that. It's very simplistic. It's extremely simplistic. And that is, I don't know, it's one of those things that's like, damn, like this was my favorite game, but like now it's like, it's alright, you know? So I'm struggling. I don't know if it like goes in alright or if it's meh, you know? I mean, I guess by that description, I guess this probably makes more sense, which feels weird to me because I think, like I said, like in years past, this would have been like up here, just based purely on my childhood memory. But going back and replaying it, I'm like, damn, it's kind of a nothing burger of a game. There's really nothing to this. It does have some cool mechanics, right? It does have some genuinely cool mechanics. Like, I love how different copy abilities interact with the level design, right? Like if you use like Spark or Electric Sword on like a metal surface, then like little sparks will travel along the level and damage enemies. Stuff like that. Using ice on water freezes it. Using fire on ice thaws it. Stuff like that. I mean, like it's very simple, right? And not at all required to beat any of the levels. That's like really stuff that you only need to know for 100% completion. And they don't do a lot with it, but I mean, it's cool. You know, at the time when I played it as a kid, I was like, I've never seen a game do stuff like this. Like, this is really cool. But they don't do a lot with it. So, I think I'm going to leave it in meh. We might rearrange it a little bit after everything is said and done, but yeah, there's just not much to it. Love the customization options, though? Yes. You have, like, I want to say, like, 20 different color options for Kirby, which is great, and they're all, like, pretty good for the most part. Yeah, it's pretty good. You know. Eh. I love how I keep saying it's pretty good when there's a pretty good tier. Like that's just a verbal tick. Don't take that seriously. But anyway, Luigi's House. Luigi's House. I think this might be a tough one to rate, honestly, because it's a really interesting and unique game, right? Like, there's not really much of anything that's like Luigi's Mansion. It's very much doing its own thing, and even a little over 20 years later, nothing's really captured the same kind of gameplay that you do in Luigi's Mansion, right? It's not like anything, like, incredibly revolutionary or anything like that, but it is incredibly unique. No game plays like Luigi's Mansion. So I want to put it pretty high up for that. And I think I'm going to. I think we can get away with pretty good on this one. It's a good time, right? Like I said, like the gameplay, like it's going to take some getting used to. If you've never played it, you're going to be like, what the hell am I fucking doing? Let me tell you, Luigi's Mansion, best fishing game I ever played. That's basically what you're doing. It is a fishing game, but instead of fishing, you're just capturing ghosts. It did launch a mini franchise, yeah. You know, we're up to the 3rd game now. Maybe we'll go 4th someday, maybe. But, you know, we'll see. But yeah, I think it's alright. It gets the atmosphere right. Like, I think the mansion is... I mean, it's not like, you know, shit your pants scary, right? Like, they were not going for that. This game is marketed for kids. It was not intended to be shit your pants scary. But it does have a spooky vibe to it, you know? It's a little weird. It's a little... I don't know, maybe for some people, maybe it's unsettling. It's very weird, though. It's like a weird spooky, where it's like, okay, I'm not really scared, but there's like some weird stuff going on here kind of thing. You know what I mean? It's equal parts got that spookiness while still being pretty jovial, all things considered. Like, I don't know, there's a dead baby, you know, but it's such a cartoony looking dead baby that you don't think about it. You're just like, oh, that's a baby ghost. And then you're like, oh no, that's a baby ghost. It's a haunted feeling for me. Yeah. I mean, like, the very cartoony, like, explicitly, literally cartoony haunted house type vibe, you know. But it's fun, you know. It's a unique gameplay style. The mansion is genuinely pretty fun to walk around in. It's fun to solve the puzzles, and it's pretty short, right? So I played this on the GameCube NSO app. Went for 100%, clocked in like 5 hours. Easy money. Pretty fun, short ride. And, you know, for some people, whatever, that's like, oh, it's short. 100% in 5 hours. For me, that's a blessing. I love short games. You're telling me I can 100% this game in 5 hours? Hell yeah, dude. That means I can beat it in like 2 or 3. I love a short game. Like, it does not take much to beat this game. And there's nothing wrong with that, I think. I think having a very succinct, short, and fun ride of a video game like Luigi's Mansion, I think is a great time. So, good vibes. Game looks great. Real tear-jerker of an ending, if you could believe that. I will never get tired of seeing that cutscene at the end when Luigi finally saves Mario, and he's just so happy, and like you see tears coming down his eyes. I will never get tired of that cutscene. Like, it made me cry the first time I saw it. It makes me cry every time I see it. It's very heartwarming. It's just a nice, fun little game all around. Really great time really great game to be playing around October for sure. So, yeah, I really liked it. It's very fun, and I'm happy to have revisited it. Oh boy, okay. Here we go. So we got 2 bombshells right here. It feels... I know it's not, right? This is my subjective tier list. Wherever I put these games, it will always be correct. But it does feel like cheating. I'm sorry. Old Pokemon games are always going to land at the top for me. They're always going to. Especially Sapphire. Sapphire is the first Pokemon game I ever played. I fell in love with this game head over heels. Like, I think about Generation 3 all the damn time. Since I played it for the first time. Still, over 20 years later, I played these games for the first time over 20 years ago. And still, consistently, over that period of time, these games have been on my mind. I love Generation 3. Like, this is peak Pokemon for me. Like, a couple of games have gotten close to this. I personally, genuinely, I think Soul Silver has gotten pretty close to this. I think ZA even has gotten pretty close to this. Nothing has quite matched Generation 3 for me. Like, man, dude. Like, there has never been a Pokemon region more fun to explore than the Hoenn region. It has so many different locations, so many different secret areas, secret caves, a lot of optional shit that, like, if you were just going through the numbers, you would have no fucking idea it was even there. And I love that. Like, and that's something that modern Pokemon games have lost. I'm sure people could tell you about it ad nauseum on the internet these days. There's no shortage of people telling you about how Pokemon isn't like it used to be, and, you know, whatever, it is what it is. But Generation 3, man, just... I still remember the first time making it to Route 113, you know, seeing the ash from the volcano, hearing the music. My first shiny Pokemon, which I thought was a glitch that would break my game, so I ran away from it. And Generation 3 has found new life for me. Old Pokemon in general has found new life for me, thanks to RNG manipulation. I know that's not everybody's cup of tea, right? Like, there are some people that akin that to, like, cheating and hacking, which it's not, but, you know, I'm finding new love for these games on a mechanical level, on a very deep, intimate mechanical level, thanks to RNG manipulation. Learning how these games tick and taking advantage of that. On top of the incredible worlds, the amazing Pokemon designs, the crisp, clean music. I hope Route 113 is playing right now. It's on this playlist. I can't hear the music, by the way, just saying. I mean, golly, man. It's an experience like no other for me. So it feels like cheating that this is pretty much up here based purely on nostalgia, but I can't fucking help it. I just can't. I can't help it. Now, if it ends up being up here, I'm going to say probably not this time. But, you know, it is possible. There's always something new around the corner. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Like, so there is, what is the fucking dungeon? I forget the name of it. There's like a small cave on one of the routes heading towards Lily Cove. It's like in the middle of a lake. It's a very small cave. There's not much to it. I think all it does is host the encounter for like one wild Pokemon that you wouldn't find otherwise. I remember needing it for something, and I'm like, where do I get this Pokemon in this game? And it's like, oh, you gotta go to this cave. And I was like, I don't think I'm familiar with that one, because I never went in it as a kid. I didn't know it was there. I didn't think to surf on that lake and see if there was anything there. Right? So it was kind of cool. I was just like, oh, okay, I've seen this cave in other YouTube videos. Like, I'm familiar with it because of that. But I don't know. It's like this year, I was like, I got to go in that cave for the first time, and I was like, this is fucking weird, man. Like, this is a game I know in and out, and like, I knew it was there, but I also didn't. Like, it was weird. It was just so cool, man. I can't help it. Generation 3 is just too good. At some point, I'm going to have to make a video gushing about Generation 3. It's going to have to happen at some point. If I ever get to a formal review of these games, it's going to be like an hour plus, I guarantee it. Yeah, I know, it's just one of those things. In Pokemon Soul Silver, a lot of the same stuff. I don't think it's as good as Generation 3. But I have said for years that, you know, subjectively, Generation 3 is my favorite. And for a long time, I said, objectively, I probably think that these are still some of the best Pokemon games ever made. There's a lot of quality of life features that Generation 4 does for the Johto region, for Gold, Silver, and Crystal. There's so many Pokemon that you can encounter. Johto is also a joy to explore. It's not as fun as the Hoenn region for me personally, but you also get the Kanto region, right? That's pretty fun to explore. You get all of these classic characters that you get to, you know, what are they doing after Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow type thing? You know what I mean? There's not much more to say to it. Overall, it's a fun time. I'm going to tell you right now that if I was just doing a casual playthrough of Soul Silver, there would be a reason to have it up here. I'm going to tell you right now, this game is not going to hit this, because fuck the Battle Tower. I played all the Battle Tower in Soul Silver, and so all of my pain and frustration and hatred for Gen 4 and its Battle Tower, unfortunately, is getting lumped in this game. It's not going to get up here. Sorry. There's a lot of cool post-game shit to do, and the Battle Frontier really isn't actually that bad. I'm overplaying it a little bit, but holy shit, you're going to be in it for the long haul if you try to fucking get everything. Fuck the Battle Tower. But yeah, I feel like a lot of the things I praise about Pokemon Sapphire, just on a mechanical level, I can also praise for Heart Gold and Soul Silver. It's another game that I'm learning to love in a different way, thanks again to RNG manipulation, thanks to the Ribbon Master Challenge, kind of exploring some of this additional content that I never actually interacted with as a kid, right? Like the contests, like I never got all the contest ribbons as a kid. I didn't fuck with the Battle Frontier as a kid. I didn't, you know, get all these weird miscellaneous ribbons, right? There's a lot of like extra side content that I didn't really explore as a kid. Like I beat the game, I captured all the legendary Pokemon, and then that was kind of it with Gen 4 for me. So getting to, you know, not all of that extra content lands, mind you, but it was a good time. And come on, it's Heart Gold Soul Silver, even just for, you know, I did do a complete playthrough of the game. And for that alone, it deserves to be an incredible. Like, it's just a phenomenal game. I love it. Okay, we are nearing the end here. We have Mario Cement Factory. This is the first review I did for the channel on that Game & Watch unit, which is on the other side of the room. I'm not going to go get it, but... how do you rate a Game & Watch game? You know, because we have, like, modern AAA experiences from 2025. We have critically acclaimed, some of the best games of all time. We have games with much, much, much higher production value than what a Game & Watch can do. You know what I mean? Like, how do you rate a Game & Watch game when everything else looks like this? It's better than this. I can tell you that much. I can tell you that much right now. It's a simple score attack game, right? I would say just go watch my review on it if you kind of want an idea of how it plays. But it's a pretty simple, you know, score attack game. You play it for like 5, 10, 15 minutes, and then you put it back in your pocket and you don't think about it. Man, it feels weird to have this above Mega Man 2 Squeak Squad, even though, like, I have my problems with this specific version of Mega Man 2. A Game & Watch score attack game? Really? Maybe. Actually, yeah, I think so. I think so. I don't know, what can I say? Like I said, I'm like a very like gameplay first kind of guy. I'm very in love with an arcadey nature type of video games where you just get in, you play the game, and you have fun. And it's like a very, you know, succinct but really fun gameplay loop. And I mean, that's what score attack games are, right? It's like, hey, here's the game. Go for it, right? And, you know, sometimes it's really addicting and I want to try to get a high score. And other times it's like, nah, I see what it's about. This is along the lines of like, yeah, I want to try to get a high score, right? Like, it's pretty fun. Like when I sat down to record gameplay footage for this for the review, like I sat there for like 20 minutes, like just playing the game, and I just wasn't even thinking. Like, yeah, there was a weird, like, there was a tripod in front of me and I had to reach around it and there was a camera looking down at it and I just wasn't paying attention to it. Like, I was just locked in. I was just playing the game. Like, it's pretty fun for what it is, right? Like, obviously it's not going to, you know, outdo any of these modern games, right? It's just not going to happen. It's not even going to outdo, like, something from a couple years after this came out. Like, you know, it's a completely different thing. But it is fun. It's a lot of fun. Sometimes all you need is a good game loop. Exactly. And that, I mean, that's all this is. It's just a good game loop. Right? Holds my interest for 15, 20 minutes. I get a high score. Maybe I don't. I try again. Maybe I don't. You know? It doesn't have, like, obnoxious slowdown and inconsistent platforms. Terrible level design. Nothing burger, you know, game loop. This, I don't know, something. Yeah, it feels weird to have it right here, but I think it's right. You know, I don't know. It was fun. Kirby's Adventure. All right, here we go. So this is another game that we streamed here on the channel. We beat the whole game in one sitting on one live stream. Played it on original hardware. I pulled out my NES and I put the cartridge in and I hooked up this god-awful AV to HDMI converter and ran it through my capture card. Kirby's Adventure? One of the best games on the Nintendo. One of the best games on the NES, full stop. Like, it might actually be my favorite platformer on the system. Like, I think I have to replay some of the Mega Man games to think about that, because I really do like Mega Man 2. I really do like Mega Man 6. Those games are really good. But Kirby's Adventure, holy moly, what a fun game. Like, just based off of the tier list placement, look, I'm going to tell you right now, I would play this over any of the Mario games. I'm going to be so honest with you. And it's like, it's a lot easier than the Mario games. And, you know, for some people that's good, for some people that's not so good. It is riddled with slowdown because this is one of the most graphically impressive games on the NES. Thankfully, it doesn't lead to any bullshit, most likely due to the game's extremely simple design. Again, it's a Kirby game. Kirby has always been meant to be extremely simple, like very easy to pick up and play. But I mean, the levels are really fun, despite like Kirby kind of, like I said with this game, like Kirby games for me, for like a veteran platformer, or for a guy that's like really good at platformers that can beat like the really hard ones, like this fucking piece of shit game down here. For me, Kirby is a cathartic experience where it's like, I am never falling down a bottomless pit in this game. I am woefully overpowered for every enemy in this game, for every boss in this game, because, you know, with the copy abilities, like everything is just so one-sided in your favor as Kirby. For me, it's a cathartic experience. I don't care if it's not challenging for me, because, again, I can beat this fucking piece of shit. So this, on a platforming level, is not challenging. But it is fun. It is fun to essentially be immune to losing. Like, it is fun. I just pick up a copy ability, I destroy everything in my path, I have a good time playing the level, and that's that. And Kirby's Adventure, I think, as I have slowly begun to replay Kirby games over this past year, and will probably continue to replay more Kirby games this year, I've come to realize that, like, this game just does it right. It's the first game with Kirby's copy ability. It gets it right out the gate, and still to this day is fucking fantastic. Just incredible game. And the music is also very good. I have to make mention of that. The music is fantastic. I don't know. This is just a good time. Like, what more can I say? Want a Kirby game to be a relaxing time too? Exactly. Like, Kirby games, like, I'm very much into, you know, fast pace, high octane, somewhat challenging kind of platforming games. Mario, you know, you can kind of get to that point in a Mario game. Mega Man games are pretty challenging platformers. Sonic games are pretty high speed, go fast kind of platforming games, right? Like, I am very much into, hey, let me get into a flow state and fucking perfectly run and jump at just the right time type of platforming games. But sometimes you do need something a little cozy, something a little relaxing, something that isn't going to be high octane, 7,000 miles a minute, just as long as you aren't inundating me with a bunch of small, tiny notifications between each level, like this game does, then, like, we're fine. Because in this game, you get in, you beat the level, Kirby walks out the door, plants the flag, more of the world is revealed, and then you get to go. Like, it's very... I'm sorry, not to harp on this game. It's just, like, little pace-breaking things like that just get under my skin. But, I mean, Kirby's Adventure is a gem. I mean, what more can I say? It's incredible. I love it. You should play it. Looks like we have... it looks like more of the modern games are a bit more back-ended, or backloaded here. Donkey Kong Bonanza, Nintendo's... basically their huge release of this year, coming shortly after the launch of the Switch 2. It's probably not surprising to anybody. That's a damn good game, man. I mean, on the level of, like, it's just fun to play, right? You are Donkey Kong, you are platforming, and you are breaking shit. And those things, just on their own, are very fun. But this game impresses the hell out of me with how much it gets out of that. Because, you know, Donkey Kong is what he is from the outset. Like, you have a skill tree, you can get new abilities, but they're not really, like, that game-changing, you know? So, the fact that they get as much out of just punching and throwing shit, as much as they get out of those two mechanics for 20 hours, this is a 20-hour platformer, right? It, like, an average runtime for a casual first-time playthrough took me 20 hours to beat this game. Now, granted, I have a problem with loving to explore 3D platformers, If I see something just out there, hey, I bet there's a collectible over there. Like, I'm gonna go look. Or if I'm like at a vantage point, very high up in the level, and I look around and I see a collectible, I'm like, hey, there's a collectible over there. I'm gonna go get that. Like, I break pace to go fucking find as much as I can. Like, I don't go out of my way to ensure 100%, but it's one of those things where if I can see something and I either see a collectible there or I think there's a collectible there, I'm going to go in that direction and go get it. But, you know, so I think, golly, how many bananas did I get in this game? I almost want to say like close to like 600 by the end of the game. And there's like way, 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 way more than that, which is hilarious. But yeah, so like you have like the basic like punching and throwing shit, and then later you get to a level where if you pick up this material, it allows you to fly temporarily. There's another level where if you pick up this material and throw it at that specific material, then it dissolves, and then that opens up new pathways, and that's the only way to get through it because it's like poisonous or whatever. And then, you know, there's another level where it's like, hey, you have to kind of form the terrain so that these objects can use the physics and flow over here and activate this thing. Like, they get so many fucking ideas out of just those mechanics. And the fact that they were able to stretch that into a 20-hour game is nothing short of incredible. Like, the amount of creativity that the devs had with this game is unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. And to take it a step further, the main mechanic of this game is punching shit. You can literally destroy an entire level if you want to, right? Obviously they like cut you off at some point, right? There's like certain levels, or every level has like this material that Donkey Kong can't punch through, right? And that's kind of how they limit you from getting into certain spaces. But like, one of the first things I thought when playing the game, I was like, if I can break anything, I can dig as deep as I want, I can burrow into a wall as far as I want, how the hell am I going to know where to go, right? Like, I could just fucking go anywhere. Like, not like in an open world where you can go anywhere, but there's a floor, there's a wall, you have to walk around here. No, I don't have to walk around that wall. I can beat the shit out of it, and then that wall's not there anymore. So, when I was playing this game for the first time, I was like, how am I even gonna fucking know where to go? But then you get into that first level, and then you can see all these tiny little things that the developers do to kind of prod you in a certain direction, right? Sure, you can just burrow down into the ground and start punching around down there. But if you look around the level, you can see areas in the terrain that look really natural, but are different enough that it's like, there's something, I should punch that. I bet a collectible's there, right? They do all these like small little changes in the world that kind of silently signal to the player like, hey, look, you don't need to punch everything. You don't need to destroy the entire leveled terrain to find all the collectibles. Keep your wits about you. Find these little areas in the world, and we'll help you find the collectibles. It's like this invisible hand helping the player be, look, if burrowing through the level to find everything is going to be like overwhelming for you, and for some people it was, just pay attention to the level design. And like, you can see these little areas, these little hints that the developers are leaving behind, that it's just like, hey, you might want to explore here, right? You don't have to go destroy the entire world. It's just, oh, this game. You know, when I saw that, I was just like, oh my God, these guys are fucking incredible. How do they do it? How do they do it? Like, it's incredible to me. I don't know how they do it. I will say, I do have one caveat. There is one thing about this game that was a bit of a sour spot for me, and it goes back to that 20-hour runtime. While they do get a lot of mechanics out, the game is constantly changing it up on you. It's never, you know, lingering on one thing for too long. Eventually, I got to like one of the last levels in the game, the one before the last level, and I was like, okay, surely this is the last level. Because there's like this big climactic moment. There's like this big moment in the story, you know, where there's this big moment, and it feels very climactic, like you're getting close to the end of the game. And then after that level, you go to another level, and then it's just like a normal, wow, we should explore for bananas and shit here. Like, the previous thing didn't even happen. I was like, how much more fucking game is there? Like, it got to a point where I got to that level, and I was like, okay, I am now starting to get slightly annoyed with how long this game is. But, then you get to the final level after that, and then the final bit of the game is just chef's kiss. I mean, it's executed so well. Fantastic. Sounds like Legend of Zelda game design 2. Nintendo allows you to learn the language of the game to know what to look for, to find things. Breath and Tears are really great at teaching you how to look for Korok seeds. Yeah, exactly. I mean, and that's one thing. Like, Nintendo does that with a lot of their series, right? Like, and I guess I shouldn't be surprised to see that continue to Donkey Kong, because like you said, they do it in Zelda. They're very good about it in Metroid. Metroid is all about that kind of shit. So I guess I shouldn't be surprised that they are doing that for this game, but like, I don't know. It was the fact that like I got into that level, and the first question I asked myself is, how am I even gonna know where to look? And then that question being answered almost immediately as I started playing, and I was like, these guys are fucking geniuses, man. I don't like holy shit. I don't know. It is what it is. It's an incredible game. Like, this and Kirby Air Riders to me are like the two games that are like must-haves. If you have a Switch 2, or if you don't have a Switch 2 and you're thinking about it, like, these two games are the reason. These two games right here. Like, no notes. Incredible. It's always exciting to me when I catch the game devs teaching me through their game design. Oh, it's the best. I love it. It's such a good feeling. It's literally the best. I need to take a drink for a second. My throat is getting sore. This is the problem when I end up streaming for a long time. I talk so much. I talk so much and my throat can't handle it, apparently. Although I guess it would help if I was drinking water and not great value cream soda. But it's very delicious. Happy New Year. Okay. Damn, I've been recording and streaming at the same time. My computer utilization not going anywhere. Consistent 60 frames per second. Not a single drop frame. God damn, I did a good job on this computer. Sorry. All right, let's get back to it. Okay, here's a big one. Mario Kart World. Pretty divisive game, right? It seems you can't go more than a couple seconds on the internet without somebody complaining about this game. And not to say that it's not deserved, but I'm going to be real with y'all. I think it's going right here. I understand a lot of the complaints people have with Mario Kart World, right? The intermission courses sometimes leave a lot to be desired. I know they've been updated recently to be a little bit more interesting, which hats off to Nintendo for that, by the way. I don't think not many studios, I think, would go to that level of, like, changing entire courses, basically, to kind of appease players. Of course, there are still some things that could be done better. Like, a lot of people say that the open world is kind of empty and there's not really anything to do in it. And that's true. I do agree with that. My counterpoint to that, and I'm absolutely going to get some Nintendo shill comments for this, I'm sure. But my counter argument to that is, if you've played an open world racing game or driving game, that they're all like that. I mean, I can't think of... Granted, I've not played very many open-world racing games that allow you to just drive and go wherever the hell you want. I've not played a ton of those, but of the ones I have played, there's not much to them. Like, the point is to just drive around and enjoy the world, and that's what you do in this game. That's why this game has a 300-plus song soundtrack of Mario remixes, just for you to enjoy as you're just cruising around in the open world. I don't know, maybe I'm just not seeing the point. Maybe Maybe other open world racing games do that, and I just happen to play the few that don't. I don't know. But what I can say is that it's more Mario Kart. And Mario Kart is a good time. And really, that's all I needed to be, personally. Used to drive around in old Need for Speed games just for the vibe. Exactly. Like, I feel like open world areas in driving games are purely just for the vibes. At least that's always how it's been to me. That's always how I've looked at it. And this game, like, they have collectibles. There's like question mark panels that you can find. There's Peach medallions that you can collect. There are P-switches that, when activated, brings up a little mission for you to complete in a certain amount of time. So, and all that I think is really cool, right? I don't interact with most of that stuff because, again, I'm just there to drive and just to enjoy the vibes. But on occasion, I'll try out a challenge here and there. I think the biggest problem I have with the open world is that there's not a checklist for those collectibles that I just listed. They are scattered all over this massive map, and you have no way of knowing if you got them all or not. No way of knowing. And then there's like, you don't get anything for getting any of that shit either. There's like these little stickers that, you can apply to your icon for online races, and it gets plastered onto some of the carts. But it's like such a throwaway whatever kind of thing. But all that aside, I mean, I don't know. I'm very much in the unpopular opinion that I think this game's fine. I think it's good. Like, a lot of people don't like the intermissions. They don't like the open world, and all that kind of good stuff. I don't mind them, personally. I think it's an interesting way to shake up the game. I think it's an interesting way to incorporate a free roam element into a Mario Kart game. I do wish that there were a few more options, both in single player and in multiplayer, to maybe adjust some of those things. So, like, if you're not a fan of the intermissions, there should be an option to turn them off. I do believe that. Like, that is one gripe that a lot of people have that I will agree with. I do think Nintendo should allow for a more customizable online experience. And I think in their previous update, they kind of got to something sort of like that, but it's not quite perfect. So there's things like that I think could be added, but just at the base level, the course design is really good. Like, these are really fun courses to play on, which, that's not surprising for a Mario Kart game. They usually land that stuff pretty good. The new items, I think, are pretty interesting. A lot of people have trouble with the item balance. For me, Mario Kart 8 gets straight up fucking chaotic bullshit sometimes, man. Like, and I'm saying this purely as mostly a Mario Kart casual. Like, I go online, I front run, and I try to win, right? I'm not actively trying to bag. I'm not actively playing whatever the best character plus cart combo is. I am there to play the funny wahoo wacky Jumpman racing game with the cool characters and the funny items. That's all I'm there for, right? So it's a little chaotic, like towards the middle pack of the race, of course, but like, I don't know, that's Mario Kart. Like, they have like specific rules that, like, if you try to hang back and get some of the more powerful items at the beginning of a race, like, it's literally coded that it gives you mushrooms. That way there's not like items flying all over the place. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Like, people complain about the item balance, and I just don't see it personally. Like, I understand that bagging is a popular and really good strategy, for the highest level of online play. I'm not playing at the highest level of online play. I hop into a lobby. It's probably a bunch of other casuals that are just chickens with their heads cut off trying to front run, just like me. So it is what it is. I don't know. I think it's a fine game. The new mechanics with like the wall riding and the rail grinding, I think, are really interesting. It's a cool way to open up multiple pathways in the courses. And it allows for a lot, and I mean a lot, of player expression, and I love that. The problem is, I am terrible at those things. I have not, like, normally a new Mario Kart comes out, it's got this new mechanic, whatever. And I'm like, I can get pretty integrated with the mechanic pretty easily. Like, I figure it out. I'm like, okay, here's how I can best utilize this to win races. Not this time. Wall riding, rail grinding, I still haven't figured it out. Like, I know, like, some tracks where it's easier to do one or the other, and I try to do it, and then it just doesn't quite, like, I don't go where I think I'm gonna go, and I have not mastered it at all yet. And so anytime I hop online, I like, never win. Because I'm, like, missing out on a lot of extra speed from utilizing those mechanics. Because I just haven't mastered it yet. Like, I have to change my thought process when playing Mario Kart World as compared to other Mario Kart games. Because all the other Mario Kart games, you can kind of play them the same, regardless of whatever their gimmick is. This game, no, it changes everything. And it's cool. It is genuinely very cool, even if I am extremely bad at it. It's a fun way to shake up the gameplay, and it is insane to see what people come up with. So, I think the game's alright. Pretty good, all things considered. I will be honest, admittedly, I have not gone back to replay this since, I want to say, since I think Pokemon came out. I have not gone back to play this, so there's a couple updates that I've missed, so I might be a little bit out of the loop. I will say, as much as I like Mario Kart World, and I am pretty much okay with the game for the most part, Kirby Air Riders is a much better racing game, and you should play that instead. Look, I'm sorry. I don't mean to be that guy, but, like, I'm going to keep shilling this game, because it's so good. We got Mario Bros, the arcade game. I played the arcade game and the NES game this year. I just put them onto the one. This one, we're going to go... It's another one of those score attack games. It's a very arcadey score attack game. Just, you get thrown into the level, defeat all the enemies, go to the next level, keep playing until you lose all your lives type of thing. This has very quickly become one of, if not my favorite arcade game of all time, like score attack arcade game. This might be insane. I think it's going in pretty good. I don't know. I just can't get enough of it. Anytime I play this, I'm playing it for a very long time. Like, I don't get, like, super far. Like, I'm not, like, crazy good at this game. I can get to, like, what's my record? Like, phase 12, 13, maybe? But I mean, man, like, it's just so much fun. And I don't know, maybe it's because it reminds me of a Mario platformer, right? Other 80s arcade score attack games don't play like this. They're not platformers. They're either like shooters or something like Pac-Man or whatever, right? They don't play like a platformer, but this does. And I love platformers. So I think that's why I enjoy it so much. It does feel a little weird to have Mario Bros. Above like these two games, but I don't know, man. I'd play it for a long time. like I would just like boot up session after session. Like when I was recording for the review, like I had the NES version, I played it on the NES Classic, I played the arcade version on the Switch, and like I would play through a session, and then I would lose all my lives, game over, and I just put another quarter in and just go again. Like, I don't know, it's just fun. It's a lot of fun. What more to say? Yeah, it's a good time. I think you should play it. I think if you're into arcade games, I think you should play it. This is probably overrated for me. Like, I'm probably overrating this, but genuinely right now, with just how I feel about all this, that's genuinely what I feel. I just think it's pretty good. Super Mario Brothers 2, we're gonna go throw that one in the alright tier. If you watch my review on this one, then you probably understand why that is. Super Mario Brothers 2 is cool. It's a wild departure. Like, it's weird to go from this game, Super Mario Brothers on the NES, to this game. They're very different games. Extremely different games. Still fun all around, but for my money, I think this game changes too much. I said at the end of the review that when it comes to 2D Mario, I prefer a more traditional experience. So something along the lines of Super Mario Brothers, Super Mario Brothers 3, right? This strays from that formula quite a bit. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Like, I am always open to the idea of games exploring new concepts, trying new ideas. I mean, that is literally the Nintendo thing, right? That's what they do. That's why their games are so beloved, because they break the mold. They go out and do something different. A lot of times it lands, sometimes it doesn't. And, you know, obviously, depending on who you are and the kind of things you enjoy, the kind of person you are, your mileage may vary. For me, Super Mario Bros. 2 is cool, it's unique, and it has different gameplay mechanics that you don't really see in a lot of 2D platformers, even really today. But I don't know. It was a little too much for me, right? I'm open to change and new gameplay styles and all that kind of good stuff. This was a little much for me. I was like, okay, I kind of miss the power-ups. The level design is like, levels are longer. They're more, I guess, expansive. There's a lot more going on in the levels. Where it's like, again, I've said it multiple times in this video, in this stream, whatever. I've said it multiple times that if you give me just a burst of really strong gameplay, like Super Mario Bros. 3, those levels are extremely fucking short. There are 90 levels in this game, but all of them are extremely short. So short that they don't even have checkpoints in this game. Like that's just not a thing. The levels are so short, you don't need them, right? But the levels are designed immaculately well, and it's really fun to run through them. Levels in Super Mario Bros. 2 are really long. Not really long, but they're like pretty long, right? Like the first level where you like fall down from the door in the sky, and then you go down the mountain, and then you go in the door, and then it's plains, and then you're going through that. I think there's like there's not a, I'm thinking of the next level, but you go through the plains, and you climb up the vine, and then you're platforming on some clouds, and then you get to a mountain, and then there's Birdo, and then you have the boss fight, and, you know, bada boom, bada bing. Fun. It is a fun time. It's fun to run and jump, it's fun to pick shit up, it's fun to throw things at enemies, but my god, can we speed it up a little bit? I don't know. Maybe I'm just impatient, but Super Mario Bros. 2, as good as it is, you know, you got multiple characters, different locales, all that fun stuff. It's just not for me. Like, it's one of those things where I sit here, I look at it, I acknowledge that it's a good game, I acknowledge that the things it tries to do differently, it does a really good job at doing those things differently. But at the end of the day, when I think about my tastes and my subjectivity with this kind of thing, it's just not for me. It's fun. I enjoyed my time. I played all 20 levels. Had a good time with it. It's just not for me, you know. But I'm not going to dog anyone that likes it more than all the other 2D Mario games, because there is a legitimate reason to enjoy it more than all the 2D Mario games. Just not for me. And here is something completely out of left field. Look at all this, like, Nintendo adjacent stuff, right? I mean, I guess R4 is a little out of place. How about Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered? It's so out of place with all of these colorful Nintendo games. Okay, so I was going to say I love Elder Scrolls, and I do, but my experience with Elder Scrolls is playing a lot of Skyrim and then trying to beat the original Oblivion and always failing, because the level up mechanics in the original Oblivion kind of sucked dick. I forgot that happened this year. Yeah, I think a lot of people did, to be perfectly honest. It just kind of happened. Like, they shadow dropped Oblivion, people talked about it for like a week, and then it was gone with the wind. But as somebody that has tried and tried and tried and tried and tried so many fucking times to beat the original Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, like the original game, and has failed every single time, I was delighted to see this. I think Oblivion is a good game. It's a fantastic game. I kept going back and trying to beat it for a reason. I wasn't falling off of it because I didn't like the game or I was falling out of love with it. I fell off of it because it's kind of dated. And if you don't know how to take advantage of the mechanics in that game, then that game can get really fucking hard. Thankfully, in Oblivion Remastered, you don't have to worry about that. There are some quality of life features, especially to the level up mechanics, that make this Much more approachable, I will say. And to be honest, that's all I needed. That is literally all I needed. The beautiful graphics, the overhaul on the graphics is a cherry on top. This game is fucking gorgeous, man. It is beautiful, this game. It's kind of interesting. Like, I still don't know how I feel about the fact that we have quality of life improvements. We have updated visuals that look incredible. But they didn't change anything audio-wise. It's the same music and the same voice acting. And I understand why they did it, right? Oblivion's NPCs and the voice acting, it's iconic. It's fucking iconic. And it, for a simple remaster project, it was probably too tall in order to get brand new voice acting in for every line of dialogue, because there's a lot of dialogue in this game. So I understand why they did it. It's just weird and I'm not saying, I'm not criticizing it, for the record. I do enjoy that they did that. I am A-okay that they did that. In fact, I think I would probably end up preferring it, if I'm being real with you. It's just weird to me. That's all I'm trying to say here. Basically, you have to commit to a level 1 run of Oblivion to work around the level scaling. Exactly. It's either you plan literally basically every single level up right from the get-go, or you do a level 1. That's it. Didn't realize there was quality of life features. Oh yeah. Yeah, so they changed it to where the stat gains you get on level up, it's no longer determined by what skills level up. Just every time you get a level up, you get the maximum number of skill points, and you just get to put it into whatever skills you want. So after a matter of a few levels, you can literally have max stats and everything, right? Which, admittedly, that does turn the game from being really fucking hard like it was in the original game to being way too fucking easy in this game. So there is like a weird flip-flop there, that it's not really like a balanced difficulty, but rather that they just turned something that was really fucking hard, if you try to approach it the way they told you to approach it, to something that's extremely easy. You know what I mean? It's like a weird thing, but it's enough for me. This is tough, actually, because Oblivion is very good. Like, I do like the game a lot. But there is something about it. Something that I'm not able to put into words at this very second, that is making me want to do this instead of putting it in Incredible. And admittedly, I don't know what it is. It could be my bias for Skyrim, if I'm being perfectly honest with you. I think Oblivion is cool. Its dungeons are very samey. Like, every dungeon looks the fucking same. If it's a cave, it's the same torchlit cave with the same mushrooms, with these insanely confusing layouts. The dungeon design in Skyrim is way better. Like, just from like a mapping perspective. Like, you'll have rooms go in and out of each other. It's like these mazes, which I suppose is like, more realistic, I suppose. Like, if you were in a medieval world, you would expect caves to be sprawling and one room go into another and back into itself type thing, right? I suppose it's more realistic that way. And some people do really like that, but I don't know. For me, there were a few where I was just like, dude, I am just getting fucking lost all the goddamn time in some of these dungeons. Specifically, like, optional ones that I just, like, wander into. The Aelid Ruins, they all look the fucking same. It's hard to know what rooms you have and haven't been in because they reuse a lot of the same layouts. Stuff like that. And overall, I don't know. I think it's a Skyrim bias. I'll be perfectly honest with you. I think it's a Skyrim bias. Because, like I said, Skyrim does a better job with the dungeons, right? Like, they're mapped out a little bit better. Skyrim also has a sameness problem, but I don't think it's nearly as bad in Skyrim as it is in this game. And, I don't know, this is probably a comparison to the Thief of Joy type shit here, but, like, I don't know. there's something I'm trying to put into words what it is that I can't just do this, but on my gut feeling right now in this very moment, this is where it hits for me. And it just is what it is. I think it's fine. Um, this actually did get a shit ton of hours out of me when it came out. Like, I beat the main story, I beat the Fighters Guild story, I beat the Mages Guild story. I was starting the Thieves Guild story, but then that's when the Switch 2 came out, and then that pretty much derailed any hopes of me coming back to this game for the foreseeable future. Very samey. Skyrim has dungeons that look the same, but they are structured differently. Yeah, exactly. Oblivion's dungeons were procedural. Really? Huh. That could have fooled me. Yeah, I think I'm okay with leaving Oblivion there for the time being. Oh boy, these next few I think are going to be really difficult. Super Mario Odyssey. This is another game that I played with my brother and sister on our game nights. Yeah, it's going right here. Super Mario Odyssey. I think I've said it a couple times on the channel. If I haven't, I'll say it here. Super Mario Odyssey, to this day, is my favorite Mario game of all time. I mean, this game is magic giving physical form. Like, I cannot begin to tell you just how much fun I can have in this game. And, like, I know some people have some misgivings with it. You know, people be like, oh, well, there's just moons plastered all over the place and they're all really easy and not fulfilling to get. Personally, I disagree. I think that there are good small challenges, like enough of a small challenge for 99% of the moons for them to exist, right? It's just like, here's a platforming challenge over here. Use an enemy to get over here. Do this weird mini game over here. Like, yeah, not all of them have to be survive this intense platforming gauntlet to reach the end of, whatever. They don't all need to be about that, right? 3D Mario games are about exploring this sandbox world with Mario's moveset. You've got a million different jumps to get the job done and a capture mechanic. The way you get a Power Moon and the way I get a Power Moon for the same one could be completely fucking different. And, I value that big time when it comes to 3D platformers. If you give me the ability to approach things the way I want to approach things, then, that is, perfect for me. Sorry, there's a fly buzzing around. That's perfect for me. And Mario is such a joy to control. I could just, run and jump in this game aimlessly. I could, if there's no more Power Moons for me to collect, if I 100% the game, which I've never done, by the way, but if I ever, 100% the game, I could still turn it on and just jump around New Donk City, or I could jump around the darkest side of the moon, or any of the areas in this game, and just have a good time. Just running, triple jumping, throwing the cap, diving, doing all these different maneuvers all together, throwing in a long jump here and there. It's a jungle gym, and it is so much fun to play. I cannot get enough of this game. Talking about it, I want to turn it on and play it right now. I want to go through and play the entire thing again right now, because it's, I love Super Mario Odyssey. I really can't sing very, I could go on and on and on and on about my praise for this game. I love this game to pieces. It's just a nice, fun, 8-hour romp through a bunch of different kingdoms, a bunch of different jungle gyms. You get to do all these cool flippy-dippy tricks. You can fucking skip certain things. I think what I love about it is that, okay, here's the capture mechanic, right? We want you to capture the enemies to get through some platforming obstacles. That's hey, this is the Nintendo intended way of completing the challenge. But they're also hey, if you're really good with Mario's moveset, you can just jump over there, right? And then you do it and you're like, dude, this is fucking awesome, man. Oh, this is a good ass video game. I love this. I should play it again. Yeah, this game's fucking awesome. I can't get enough of it. And yeah, I want to play it again. Honestly, we beat it not that long ago. I think like what was it? Was it October that we beat it? Sometime around there. Dude, I want to play it again. This game's fucking awesome, man. Yeah, what more can I say? It's a great game. That's exactly right. Pokemon Colosseum. Oh boy. I have had some wildly fluctuating opinions on this game, I think. It's not your traditional Pokemon romp, right? And I'll be honest, on that alone, that's already like kind of a chink in the armor, if you will, for me. Because one of my favorite things about Pokemon games is the exploration aspect. That's why I love Generation 3 so much. Because there's always something to explore. Not so much in Pokemon Colosseum, right? You've got a loading screen between different towns. The towns are kind of boxed in with a few different areas here and there. It's really about the battles, right? Now, I like Pokemon battles, and I like double battles. Double battles are my favorite. And Pokemon Colosseum is nothing but double battles. So that's like minus a point for not having a ton of exploration, but like plus 1 point for being exclusively double battles, because in my mind, they are way, way more interesting to me than just a standard one-on-one Pokemon battle. Sorry to any Smogon fans out there. Another thing this game does really well is the vibes. There is not a single Pokemon game that is like this one on a vibes level. It is weird. It is slightly mature, which for Pokemon says a lot. There is a gritty aspect to it. There are some real fucking assholes in this game, right? It has a darker tone for sure. Not like, you know, Batman, the animated series, is kind of dark, whatever, but like, you know, for Pokemon standards, it has a darker tone, which is enjoyable. Still has the oldest Pokemon protagonist. I think that's correct. I think you are correct about that. I'd have to check some of the newer ones, but safe assumption, you're probably right. Wes is still... let's be real, Wes is probably still one of the coolest designed Pokemon protagonists in a long time. Like, I think, off the top of my head, probably only second to Brendan and May, in my opinion. Wes is extremely fucking cool. The game does get pretty monotonous. It gets pretty fucking monotonous. Because again, it is a standard, like think about a Pokemon game, right? On average, a Pokemon game might take you, depending on how much of an insane person you are, would probably take you anywhere from like 10 to 30 hours, depending on the game, right? Some of the older games probably are shorter in that 10-hour range. The newer ones probably get a little bit longer, right? Pokemon Colosseum hits the same runtime and has way more battles and way less like exploration, way less dungeons, way less overworlds. It has the same runtime as a standard Pokemon game, but 90% of that runtime is battles. And like, look, don't get me wrong, I love Pokemon battles. I love double battles. I think the idea of saving, you know, the shadow Pokemon by capturing them from evil trainers or trainers that just don't know any fucking better, it's an interesting concept, but it gets monotonous. It gets repetitive. And it gets to a point where you're just like, can something else happen, please? So I think I'm feeling alright. It is a cool game, though. It is a really cool game, though. Does it go up here just because of that? Because the game is really fucking cool, man. Like, on a vibes level. Like, these massive coliseums, and, like, you're... like invading, this terrorist base, basically, in the middle of the desert. You know, the admins have, like, these legendary Pokemon and shit. Multiplayer battles have a certain gravitas to them because of the whole Coliseum aesthetic. Does it land pretty good just because of that? I'm gonna say yes. Very barely. It is like one more annoying thing away from landing like here. It's very close, and I'll be honest, there's a bit of a nostalgic bias at play here because we played the shit out of this game as a kid. There is a bit of a nostalgic bias here. In reality, like my objective brain is telling me to put it here, but when I put in my own experiences and my own tastes and my own stories with this game, wow, what can I say, man? You can leave a comment calling me a Pokemon shill if you want. It's cool. It's cool, man. I think it's a cool game. And eventually this is going to get released on the GameCube Nintendo Switch app. So if you got a Switch too, you'll be able to play this eventually. So that'll be fun. Now we have ARMS. It's kind of funny. I would not have expected to be talking about ARMS in 2026, to be honest, which is kind of funny because this is one of my favorite games on the Switch. Like, full stop. Thought you would put in the alright category. When I was when I listed all the games, like as I was preparing for the stream, I can't help it. Like my mind is already putting things in places. I was like, yeah, I think Pokemon Coliseum goes in the alright. Like it's monotonous, it's whatever. But like, I don't know. There's a coolness factor to it. It's like an X factor. It's putting it over the edge just with its coolness factor alone. Like I said, I think it's just when I introduce subjectivity to the conversation. Because look, I could have an objective tier list, right? And it would look the same as everyone else's opinions, right? Like this would be here, Mario 3 would be an incredible, right? But like, I am trying my best to acknowledge objectivity while allowing my subjective, personal, and sentimental experiences play a role in the decision-making factor of this game. And to be fair, this game is up here because I started playing it like in high school, and then I got to the very end and put it down, and then I picked up that exact same save file from high school, and then I saw it through to the finish line. So I technically beat it in 2025. So there are a lot of things that I am probably just not remembering correctly because it had been a long time since I played the first 90% of this game. But I can remember some of it. And from what I remember, yeah, there's some bullshit. There's some annoying shit, for sure. There is some repetitive and monotonous shit. It's still pretty fucking cool, man. I don't know what to tell you. That's really what it comes down to. But yeah, like I was saying, we have ARMS. Like I said, ARMS is one of my favorite games on the Switch. Like, full stop. It is absolutely one of my favorite games on the Switch, period. Like, probably top 10 for the system, which is saying a lot. Do you realize how many incredible fucking games are on the Switch? So yeah, ARMS I enjoy a lot. I got it day one when it came out. I was a part of the competitive scene for a little while. I went to tournaments for this game, online and otherwise. This is a really fun game, and I think it's pretty underrated as far as not only fighting games go, but as far as like Nintendo games go. For some reason, people keep saying that like, oh, ARMS was a failure. No, the fuck it wasn't. The hell? For a brand new IP, for it to sell as much as it did, like, yeah, it didn't hit like Splatoon 2 numbers, but Splatoon is an established IP in a more popular genre, bro. Like, ARMS, for what it is, I think is a relatively successful game. And I don't understand why there's a narrative that the game failed. It did not. The game did well. It's just, it's a new IP. It still needs to break some glass here and there. Anyway, all that aside, this is another game that I played with my brother and sister on those game nights. Just a really fun arcadey fighting game with a twist, right? This, like, you gotta think, like, fighting games are either played from, like, a third-person perspective from the side, think like Tekken, or it's like a 2D game played from the side, like Street Fighter, right? there are 3D fighting games where the camera is like behind, uh, behind the fighter, like in Arms, right? Think like Anime Arena Fighters, which admittedly are not very good games in my opinion, but they exist. Nintendo, they were like, okay, what if we put the camera behind the fighter, but we don't, make a boring nothing burger of an arena fighting game like all those anime fighters? I'm fucking looking at you, Dragon Ball. And I think, they came up with something really weird, something really fun, something really unique. And yeah, I think Arms is pretty good. Like, there are some things about it that keep it from being incredible for sure. Like, for some people, it really just is, like, on a casual level, some people are just like, punch, 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 That's all you're doing. You're punching. Every character does the same thing. You're punching. Which in fighting games, like, I understand that argument, because in fighting games, you want a varied roster of characters that do a bunch of different things, right? And for a lot of people, it's just like, oh, you just sit on the other side of the screen and you punch. And I'm like, well, not really. Like, you can get in people's face and throw punches. They're not going to have much time to react to it. It is a very good strategy, actually. There are some characters that are very good at that, and there are some characters that are a little slower, maybe do want to play from a range. And you have the different gloves, which have different effects that can change your playstyle. There is a surprising amount of customizability when it comes to Arms and how you want to approach the game, which, for me, ticks the box of having varied characters in a fighting game, right? Like, I typically like to play Helix. I like to kind of sit back a little bit, use the tower mode to dodge attacks, and then attack with arms that are going to be able to go a good distance and to try to keep opponents away from me, right? On the flip side, you can play as Springman. He's pretty fast. He's got a great dash. He's got this, like, defensive parry thing when he charges. Like, he is pretty well suited to get in people's faces and throw, like, really quick, hard to react to punches. And then you can change to, like, explosive gloves that kind of linger after your opponent blocks an attack. That way you can keep up the pressure. Like, there are a lot, I promise you, there are a lot of really cool fucking things going on underneath the hood of this game. And it is one of the most entertaining, one of the most fun fighting game experiences I've ever had in my life. Like, this game is fucking awesome. And I really should play it a little bit more. I still think, which is funny because I was competitive in this game and I have been competitive in Smash for many years. I still think to this day on my Switch, I have more playtime in Arms than I do in Smash Ultimate, which is kind of wild to say for someone like me. So I don't know. I don't think I'm going to be able to convince a lot of people that this game is incredible, but I mean, it is, man. It's fucking phenomenal. It's a great game, and I wish more people played it. And I wish more people realize that, like, hey, this game is actually kind of goated. But be that as it may, we have two more games, two very big ones here. We have Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. I'm a big Metroid fan. I'm a big Metroid Prime fan. This has been my most anticipated game for 8 years. For 8 goddamn years, this has been the game that I have been the most excited to play. And now it's finally here, and it still feels weird to say that. Like, it still feels unbelievable to say that I have Metroid Prime 4, finally, after all of these years. So where am I going to put it? It's going here. It's going in the pretty good. Pretty good's going to be bloated, by the way. I'm generally pretty positive when it comes to video games, especially considering that I tend to play games that I like, and for the most part, stay away from ones that I don't. I'm very safe. I know what I like, and I stick with it. So, like, it's going to be a top-heavy list for sure, but Metroid Prime 4 is going in pretty good. I wanted it so bad to be incredible, and I think I am more positive on this game than I think most people are, because there is a lot of controversy behind the game. A lot of people don't like Soul Valley. They feel like it's empty, and it's boring, and it's lifeless. A lot of people don't like the introduction of essentially a side cast of Galactic Federation troopers that assist Samus. A lot of people don't like the map design. And I'm going to be honest, I think I can mostly agree with those criticisms, right? I am not as harsh on them, right? I will say the Galactic Federation troopers, I like them a lot. I do think that they add something to the story. I understand why people don't like them. I'm going to try not to ramble too much. I want to make a whole video about this, so I'm going to try not to ramble too much here, but I do think they add something to this game. I do think that the plot with them involved, I think it's fine. I think it's good stuff. The character interactions are really good. The voice acting is really good. All that kind of good stuff. Soul Valley, yeah, it's boring. It's lifeless. There's not much to do in it at all. I don't really care because, like, you get to Soul Valley and I'm driving around, I'm exploring, I'm like, all right, let's find all the secrets. Let's see what I can find. And then I drive around, I'm like, oh, there's not really much here. It's empty. And I go, okay, it is what it is. So now, when I go from Soul Valley, I'm like, okay, complete a segment at Flare Pool. Oh, I got to go back to base camp at Fury Green. Cool. Drive across the desert. And it takes like a minute to get from one side of the map to the other. It takes like a minute. It does not take very long at all. So, while it is boring and lifeless and devoid of pretty much any meaningful content, I find it ultimately harmless because you can travel through it so quickly, right? Not to say that those criticisms are not valid, because they are, and I agree. There should have been more. But the fact that you don't have to spend very long in it just going from place to place, might as well be an interactive loading screen, basically. Which, yeah, sure is not great, but at the same time, like, it's only taking me like a minute to get there. Like, it's not... It's not, like, I don't know, it's not that egregious to me. You don't drive around for the vibes in Soul Valley. We'll agree about the scarcity, though. I mean, not really. Like, I guess maybe I would if I used the amiibo to unlock the music, and I have the amiibo, right? I could do that. But there's not really anything to say. It's just a desert. It's sand, there's rocks, sometimes Galactic Federation debris from the thing that got them there in the first place, whatever. You kind of see everything you need to see in a couple of minutes, which is problematic for a space that big, I think. Now, on the topic of vibes, what I do for vibes in Metroid Prime 4 is I explore all the other maps. Places like Volt Forge, places like Icebelt, places like Fury Green. I go for a walk in Metroid Prime 4 if I want vibes. And that is one thing that Retro Studios has always been fucking incredible at. They have always been the absolute best at world building, creating these lifelike environments, as lifelike as you can make it for a fictional universe like Metroid, of course. Like, these little things like raindrops and water dripping onto Samus's visor, and all the visual effects like that, or like when an explosion goes off and it casts a reflection of Samus's face on the visor, or like when you're walking in Icebelt and then the Arn Cannon, you can see it freezing over in ice, but if you charge a charge shot, the heat from the charge shot melts the ice off. Like little details like that, little world building nuggets of lore placed carefully throughout each area of the game. Retro Studios has always been immaculate at that kind of stuff. And that is where Metroid Prime, as a series, all 4 games, even Metroid Prime 4, all of them are aces in that department. Like, the world is so enchanting. It's so mesmerizing. You genuinely get to learn about these extinct alien races and how their society functioned. You get to learn about their technology, about what led to their extinction. And this is something that Retro Studios has always been really good at, and is why I prefer the Prime games over the 2D games, is the world building. Like, that alone gets Metroid Prime 4 to this spot. Genuinely. Honestly, I mean, it would get it up here, but like some of the gameplay snags from its troubled development is why it's right here. Right? And that's why I love Metroid Prime. That's why I love Metroid Prime 4. That's why I love Metroid Prime 3. It's why I love Metroid Prime 2. For all of the world building. Like, it's fantastic shit. So yeah, the game is good. I want to make I want to make a video about this. It's not going to be a review, but I do want to make a video kind of rambling about it, because I don't want to spend the entire time rambling about it here. Yeah, they've been good about those details literally since the GameCube. Like, unbelievable. I love it. I love it so much. Okay. We have one more game, and then we can wrap it up. That game, Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom. This originally came out in 2023. I did not play it in 2023. I skipped it. Ended up getting the Switch 2 version. And I was a little unsure going into it, because I remember watching the trailers and getting like a Banjo-Kazooie nuts and bolts kind of vibe. And I was like, I'm not sure if that fits Zelda. I'm not sure if that's going to work very well. Like, I trust Nintendo and the team behind their flagship Mario and Zelda games, right? Those are very, very, very talented developers. So I was like, I'm confident in them, but like, I don't know. Something about this just doesn't seem right to me. And so I ultimately skipped it. But I heard a lot of good things about it, and I wanted to give it a shot. I was a little nervous going into it, especially considering that when I was playing Breath of the Wild, I enjoyed Breath of the Wild. I think it's a very good game. I don't hold it as high on a pedestal as many others do. But around the 70-hour mark, I was like, okay, I realize I'm revisiting this game less and less. So I think I'm just going to go beat the game now, because if I don't do it now, I'm probably not going to. So around the 70-hour mark, I went and beat Breath of the Wild. Tears of the Kingdom, different story. Tears of the Kingdom, I got to the 100-hour mark and said, okay, I need to beat this game now, otherwise I am going to 100% this game. Like, I was having so much fun playing Tears of the Kingdom. It's crazy to me that it's the same Hyrule, right? It's basically the same map, right? You have the Sky Islands, you have the depths, right? Whole new Hyrule-sized maps for you to explore, basically. And I don't really care about those. Sky Islands are a pain in the ass to get to, and the depths are dark and a pain in the ass to navigate, and there's not really a whole lot there, right? I don't particularly care about those elements very much. But exploring Hyrule, even though it's the same map with a few differences here and there to reflect the fact that time has passed, still the best part. There's now caves all over the place for you to explore and find treasures. The Ultra Hand mechanic works insanely well. I don't know how they got that mechanic to work as well as they did, but it is one of those things. I got the mechanic and I was like, all right, I'm ready for this to be a clusterfuck. And then I started building shit in like that tutorial, The Great Sky Island, and I was like, oh, this just works. Oh, this is easy. Like, building shit with Ultra Hand is extremely easy, and it just fucking works. Like, you're not fidgeting around with things. Things aren't getting attached the way you don't want them to. It just works. Something like that, like, I feel like most studios would have a hard time programming something like that, but like, they just made it work so seamlessly in this game. Like, holy shit. Hyrule has changed so much between games. As someone who knew Breath of the Wild's map pretty well, the changes in Tears were so apparent. It's really cool. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not one for one, right? There's a lot of changes, a lot of like new areas to explore. Again, I mentioned the caves. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not a one for one thing, and it took some getting used to for me. I guess I wouldn't say I necessarily memorized Breath of the Wild's map or got like that crazy familiar with it. But I did play that game a lot, and even though I beat Breath of the Wild in 2018, I took a long time to beat it. and then didn't play Tears of the Kingdom until 2025, for me at least, enough time had passed that, like, okay, I remember this vaguely, I remember that vaguely, but everything else is pretty much fucking brand new to me. So maybe that has something to do with it, but yeah, I mean, what an incredible game. And the story is pretty good as well. I really enjoyed the story. The ending, absolute cinema. To be honest, that ending was phenomenal. I really enjoyed it. And just, I don't know, just running around Hyrule, getting lost, and just finding all these different treasures and stuff, and just figuring out what limits I could push with Ultra Hand and all the other mechanics like that. And that's not even to say anything of like Ascend or any of the other abilities you get from, I guess, the, oh god, I'm blanking on the name of that ancient tribe that found Hyrule. Whatever. Anyway, yeah, I mean, dude, this game is fucking cool, man. It's incredible. And there's actual dungeons too. Zonai, yes, that's what it is. Thank you. Yeah, with like all the Zonai abilities, like, yeah, there's a lot of cool shit. And you know, they listen, like, a lot of people were like, oh, well, we kind of want dungeons back, right? Like, Breath of the Wild didn't really have dungeons. The closest you got were the shrines, and that's not, it's not really what people were wanting. But in Tears of the Kingdom, you have actual dungeons. You know, the water temple, the fire temple, you know, it's the usual elemental temple shtick that Zelda's been doing for a long time now, right? So it's, I guess you could argue it's a little samey on a thematic sense, but, you know, the fact that, okay, there's a temple on Hyrule, or the fire temple is in the depths, or the water temple is in the sky, or whatever, that was kind of cool. The objectives of the temples being the same, kind of lame, like five keys to open the boss door. You know, that was a little lame, but they were genuinely tough dungeons. Like, I had to look up I think I had to look up a walkthrough for one of them. I think it was the Air Temple. I was just like, what the fuck am I doing? Where do I go? like very well thought out dungeons that, like, and it's so crazy, right? Because you think of like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, and it's like, well, it's these open world games, and they give you all these abilities. You can do pretty much anything from the get-go, and you can climb anywhere. So, like, how do you design a dungeon that you can't break in half by being able to climb wherever the hell you want? And somehow they fucking did it. Like, and trust me, I tried. The first time I got to a dungeon, I tried. I was like, well, I can climb anything, anywhere. So if I can, I'm gonna cheese the hell out of this. And I couldn't. For the life of me, I couldn't. I couldn't fucking figure out how to do it. So I was like, damn, I have to interact with the dungeon. How the fuck did they do this? Like, I don't know. I don't know if these are things that, like, other people think about or not, but, like, I love, like, pushing the boundaries of things. Like, can I, like, break this thing here? Can I go do something here? Like, I don't know. And stuff like that, like, when you can impress me on a level like that, then that's, like, the mechanical brilliance that puts these games in the incredible tier for me. It's kind of another take on Ocarina thematically. Oh, absolutely. 100%. And admittedly, that's a shtick that Zelda's been doing for a very long time, up until probably Breath of the Wild, if we're being real. Even then, probably not, because, I mean, what are the ancient guardians or whatever, but elemental dungeons, right? So, but yeah, damn, it's a fantastic fucking game. Play it on Switch too, if you can. Because I understand playing the game on the original Switch leads to some performance issues, like the game can't exactly hold a good frame rate necessarily. But playing it on Switch 2, it's a consistent 60 frames, like, from start to finish. I don't think it dropped once for me, no matter what kind of bullshit I was doing. So, yeah, man, just an incredible game. But now that we have everything here, it's time to decide. Game of the Year 2025, and my favorite game that I played this year, in the event that it is not a game from 2025. And look, just by the nature of, the tier list, it's got to be one of these games here at the top, right? I'm going to be honest. I think I already know what it is. I think I know what it is. Don't remember any issues in frame rate. Render distance suffered a bit. Admittedly, I'm going off of what I heard on the grapevine, because I didn't play it on Switch 1. But I had friends that played it. Like, I had a friend that played it, I think day one when it came out on Switch 1. And he said, dude, I put 2 hours into it and then I put it down. Like, the frame rate was actually, like, making me sick. Like, of how jittery it was. And I was like, damn, that's crazy. But I've not played it for myself. I don't actually know. But either way, let me take a good look here at the incredible tier. So we have Ridge Racer Type 4, Kirby Air Riders, Pokemon Sapphire version, Pokemon Soul Silver version, which I already told you is not getting the favorite gameplay this year because the Battle Tower pissed me off. Sorry, the game's still incredible. Kirby's Adventure, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Super Mario Odyssey, and The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. I think I know which one. Here's the thing. This is one of my favorite games of all time. Well, okay, Emerald is one of my favorite games of all time, but, Gen 3. It's not the same thing, but it's the same thing. This is one of my favorite games of all time, Super Mario Odyssey. I think Tears of the Kingdom dethroned Twilight Princess as my favorite Zelda game of all time. Kirby's Adventure is now, after I realized that this game is sort of a nothing burger of a game, is now my favorite Kirby game of all time. I have a lot of heavy hitters here on the top. And it's hard to not go back and lean on some of these classics. But I think it's Kirby Air Riders all the way. My favorite game I played this year and my game of the year for 2025. It's Kirby Air Riders. I'm sorry, it's too much fun. It is way too much fun. It has everything. Like, it has everything. Fun racing, like lightning in a bottle, or like grease lightning. Like, I've not played a racing game this fast, and I don't know how long, probably never. This might genuinely be the fastest racing game I've ever played. Like 1,000 different game modes, 1,000 different ways to customize the player experience, a bunch of different machines, a bunch of different characters, a story mode that for a racing game is actually really fucking good, where you can augment your stats, and there's like actually a really incredible story in there somehow, complete with the Kirby classic of having an eldritch horror be the final boss. On top of all of that is this game being a love letter to the Masahiro Sakurai directed Kirby games from Kirby's Adventure. It's like a love letter to Kirby's Adventure, to Dreamland, to Superstar, to the original Air Ride, to everything Masahiro Sakurai has done for the Kirby series early on, him being the creator of the series. It is a love letter to longtime Kirby fans that, like, I wasn't expecting to just have this warm, joyful feeling from this game, right? Like, I knew it was going to be fun. I knew it was going to be this insane, chaotic, arcadey-like game that was just going to knock my socks off. I knew it was going to be that. Like, there was no question. But the fact that it gave me that feeling, reminding me of all the cool things about the Kirby series. A series that I've not really been that invested to in for a very long time, to be honest. It's like Return to Dreamland is like the last time that I was like super caught up with everything going on with Kirby. And just to see those things celebrated, to see the Fountain of Dreams, to see Galactic Nova, to battle Marks, the Nightmare, fucking Zero Two, and just everything this game does. I said it before when I put it in the incredible tier. No game is perfect. But when I look at Kirby Air Riders, god damn, man, I can't find the flaw. I can't find it. It's there. Because no game is perfect. But I can't see it. I can't see it. The game looks good. It's incredible. It's so much fun. The replayability is through the roof, which, as we discussed earlier, is obviously something very important to me. I just... Wow. What a game. You know, I don't know. Maybe that's a predictable and anticlimactic way to end this tier list, I think. But that's just how I feel, man. This game... I mean, and keep in mind, like I said... This is one of my favorite Pokemon games of all time. My favorite Kirby game of all time. My favorite Mario game. My favorite Zelda game of all time. I played this year. And that's not to say necessarily that I think that this game is better than those, but I had more fun with this one. And for that reason, it's my favorite game I played this year. That is what it is. This or Prime 4 was my guess for GOTY. You were so hyped you were so hyped for this game on release, and seeing the footage from the game, I get the hype. Yeah, I think I've mentioned this a good number of times at this point. Actually, everywhere except my own channel, funnily enough, that Nintendo's lineup has weirdly been catered to me this year. Like, the Switch 2 feels like GameCube 2. Like, I can play GameCube games on it, thanks to the NSO app. Kirby Air Riders is a sequel to one of my favorite games on the GameCube. Fucking Metroid Prime 4, like Prime 1 and Prime 2 started on the GameCube. And this just is more of the same, which is fucking awesome. You know, like a fantastic open area 3D platformer console Pokemon game. That's a bit of a stretch for the GameCube comparison, but whatever. Doesn't matter. The fact that the Switch 2 is giving me so many GameCube vibes is very quickly... It's like, dude, if the GameCube vibes keep coming, right? We get more stuff like Metroid Prime. We get more sequels to the random weird-ass bullshit we got on the GameCube, because the GameCube had some weird fucking games on it, even for Nintendo standards. The Switch 2 very, very may easily become one of my favorite consoles of all time. But we'll have to wait and see. That's it for the tier list. Thank you all for watching. What did you think of the tier list? Let me know in the comments down below if you agree, if you disagree. Doesn't matter. You made it to the end of the video, so thanks for watching. I guess I should be a shill and tell you to subscribe. Whatever. I'm not your dad. Okay? You do it. Thanks for watching, and yeah, well, I guess we'll do this again next year, depending on how much people like it, or maybe I'll go to a standard top 10. I don't know. We'll figure it out next year. Anyway, see ya, YouTube. Good, now that those assholes are fucking gone. Fucking YouTube viewers. Jesus. Damn, it's nice to know my computer can handle streaming and recording at the same time without any fucking drop frames at all. That's fucking awesome. Okay. I was thinking about maybe playing some games, but to be perfectly honest with you, there are some videos that I kind of want to get to work on while I have the day off. So I'm going to cut the stream here. Thanks for watching. Hope y'all enjoyed the tier list. I don't know if... I wonder if this is agreeable for most people that'll end up watching. I won't know. But anyway, I am going to hop off of here and get to work on some other videos. So thanks everyone for watching. And I don't know, maybe I'll start streaming it consistently again this year. Who knows? New year, new me. Might happen. We do need to get ribbons in Gen 6. So anyway, I'm out. See you.